At Cedar Springs Presbyterian Church, there has been a lot of delay, but not a lot of disappointment.
The best news that we could get, Teresa, would be to hear that God's answered the prayers of this city and this region, and that maybe nobody comes because there's relief and our prayers are answered.
The two big questions, when and if, now answered. 160 evacuees will arrive tonight. Far fewer than the original estimate, but volunteers are happy they finally get to help someone.
If we're ready for large numbers, that's a good thing. But if we don't have the masses, we're here for however many we can accommodate.
Sunday there was word 750 evacuees would show up Tuesday. Monday it was pushed back to Wednesday. Wednesday delayed again. Thursday the Fed said no one was coming. The state said yes they are, and now they are.
This is the nature of a crisis, the nature of an emergency, and we've learned over the years to be flexible and to respond to the need as it changes from minute to minute.
Relief couldn't reach Louisiana, so Tennessee is taking in those in need.
To see everybody welcome us restored my faith in humanity.
We got very, very lucky. We were rescued by helicopter Friday morning on the roof of the building.
An amazingly common story for so many reaching dry ground. Here, rescue crews help the young, the sick, the elderly, and those who've lost practically everything take their first steps toward recovery now that they don't have to worry about survival.
Every step of the way, the volunteers have been amazing. Amazing. I mean, they have been up day and night to try to help us.
Neighbors Charlie Duran and Rudy Rasmussen made a pact on their rooftop to stay together, to save both sets of their parents.
I was just afraid I was going to lose them. And when those helicopters came, what a wonderful feeling.
Much like the feeling they had on this plane, where they found food, water, and cell phones.
And so if one person got a signal, the phone was being passed around just so you could reach other family members.
To lift their spirits, to end their suffering.
When we touched ground and I was in the middle of all the folks on the plane in the aisle, the guy next to me said, you know, I haven't felt safe in 10 days. I feel safe.
Safe, but still unsure.
And as soon as we landed here, we're watching the news and I'm reading all the newspapers in here, and I'm like, there is no city left.
But I've got my mom and I got my dad and I've got my friends, and that's what really matters.
Kay Watson, 10 News.
It may look like business as usual here at the shrimp dock, but Paul Willis's mind is more than 600 miles away.
On the bottom right-hand corner, that's where we're at. Right where the eye is. I mean, it's right on it right now.
Right on his business, his camp. 3 boats, a house, and a fishing charter sit on Brasilia Island off the coast of New Orleans. More importantly, friends and family are still there.
When you woke up this morning, did your heart just kind of sink?
When I went to bed, it was sunk, and when I got up this morning, it was a little deeper.
This is what it's like in downtown New Orleans right now.
Now, all he can do is watch and wait. A pastime he's perfected. Unfortunately, hurricanes have become a way of life for this sea captain.
After all the years, we've always, heard about the big one kind of deal. And we've had, the close ones.
From Betsy to Camille, Captain Paul remembers each one well.
And all night you could hear the tornadoes and the electrical power popping.
But he admits Katrina feels eerily different.
Because it's hard to concentrate when you're thinking about, your family, your business, your boats.
Most of his immediate family have evacuated. Thankfully, his mother is taking shelter in Knoxville.
Her rooftop is about 4 feet below sea level. So her slab, where you would actually sleep at night, is about 10 feet below sea level. So that house could be totally underwater.
And his boats, let's just say the worst case scenario could be best.
Maybe the boats all sank in their slip. At least we know where they are. If they're afloat and they break loose, I've seen boats after hurricanes 5 miles inland.
What scares him more are the people who could lose everything.
How are they going to live? Where are they going to get money? How are they going to get food? These are the things that really worry me. My boats and all of that is really kind of incidental. I chose to be in the business.
For the next 2 days, he'll focus on keeping the business afloat. But soon, he hopes to see for himself what Katrina left behind.
But when you drive into that area, What are you prepared to see?
Devastation. Roofs, total buildings completely collapsed.
Last night, with the American flag waving above the Food City in Fountain City, two 18-wheelers packed with supplies donated by East Tennesseans hit the road for Alabama to help those affected by Hurricane Katrina. At 4 a.m. this morning, just 54 miles outside of Mobile, we met a Morgan County, Tennessee man with a truck of his own.
Well, I'm coming down to help my grandma and my uncle. I've been stopping off about every 50, 60 miles and getting gas just to make sure I can get some.
Godwin, whose dog Foxy was along for the ride, knows a little about what Mother Nature can do to a community. He experienced the tornadoes that ripped through his Grove town just a couple years ago.
I just feel for the people down there because it was bad. It was bad in Mossy Grove. You know, when you pull out of your own driveway and you see State Patrol has the road blocked off and you can't go there and you know why.
After being rerouted from Mobile to Lumberton, Mississippi, the supplies were finally unloaded at the Bass Memorial Academy, part of the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
Even though the warehouse looks full right now, by this afternoon it can be empty because the product is constantly being moved.
Moved here to a drive-through-like setup on the Academy's campus. Do you have any food?
We've gotten, yes, we have. We're getting food
from y'all.
And we've gotten MREs. Oh, yes. But the house
deeply appreciated.
It's just a mess.
For Bill Bass, one of the drivers of the Food City 18-wheelers from Knoxville, this trip was his donation, and he did it in true Tennessee style, as a volunteer.
Did you have any second thoughts about driving down here at all?
Not at all, and in fact I'll do it again.
If all goes as planned, 2 more trucks carrying supplies from East Tennesseans will leave Knoxville today, those Food City trucks. One will be headed to Louisiana, the other to Mississippi. The need here in Lumberton, Mississippi is critical, and we have somebody taking some time with us. We appreciate that. Tell us your name and where you're from.
Sandra Byrne, and I'm from Lumberton.
And what are you expecting to get as you wade through and come through these lines here?
Food for my children and water and personal hygiene, anything I can get.
How tough has it been on you?
It's been pretty rough, but I've seen others that suffered more.
Your kids doing okay?
They're doing great.
Okay. And for the folks back in Tennessee and all over the country given this stuff down here, what do you have to say to them?
I'm gonna cry. It's greatly appreciated.
Our thoughts and prayers are with you. Thanks so much. All right, that is it for now from Lumberton, Mississippi. Let's go back to you guys. We are here in Lumberton, Mississippi. This is Dylan, and this is Ben. What is your job today?
Delivering watermelons and ice.
And what are the folks saying as they come by and you hand it to them?
Thank you and God bless.
Is that right? And what is the last thing you leave them with?
Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. That's good. All right. Thank you guys for taking time with us. All right, let's head back to Knoxville. As a new day dawns on the town of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi, almost every body and everything are displaced. Families in this neighborhood received some supplies from the 10 days of relief effort and Knoxville company Davis Newman Payne.
If it wasn't people like y'all from Tennessee, Missouri, wherever, we wouldn't have what we have.
Jonathan and Beverly Davis turned their general store into a relief site.
Telling people they can get a 2-3 day supply so they don't have to worry about, if they're going to eat the next day.
Despite the devastation, the American flag still waves, and the spirit here is actually pretty good. They are certainly appreciative, as you can tell, of the people of East Tennessee giving supplies. But if it weren't for a man who was in the Navy, a lot of people wouldn't be here to start with.
I've treated myself at least 350 people out here, to where the people I've had to, I've got heli-vac'd out of here.
When the hurricane hit, Tommy Beasley got his entire family, including his dog and parrot, on the roof. They all survived, but Beasley fears for his neighbors.
The further back you go, it's a death zone. Basically what we've got back there is one mass water-filled grave.
The toughest sights are of the children. 2-year-old Christian, in a t-shirt and diapers, is content with any toy he can get his hands on. He's also surrounded by the strong people of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi.
All you can do is hug them and tell them, you know, we're going to make it, you know, we're going to be back to where we were, you know, even better. You know, we just got to help one another.
On the coast of Mississippi, I'm Russell Bivens. We are here with Mayor Favre, the mayor of Bay St. Louis, and Mayor, just kind of give us your thoughts on what's happened to your city.
You know, the unfortunate thing is, as it's obvious here, this is pretty commonplace. You know, this kind of tells it all that we don't have a whole lot left. Basically, it's short of total destruction. The entire city, with very few exceptions, was underwater.
And both bridges basically just gone.
Yes, during Camille, the Highway 90 car bridge was like a checkerboard thing where one section was up, one section was down, but at least it was still intact. The train bridge was still intact, but it stripped the rails off of it, and all they had to do was come back and relay the rails. You know, as we can see, the train bridge the car bridge is virtually gone. Train bridge, we have pilings left.
What do you think about all I know you're getting a lot of private donations from churches, from towns like ours. What's your feeling on that, the reaction that you've got?
It's difficult to explain it, to describe it. You know, we've had people that they're pouring their hearts out to us to take care of our people. You know, unsolicited, and it's everything from pickup trucks or people with their cars and just something that they could fit in their trunks. Anything from supplies to the water, to food items, clothing, anything that they've been able to put their hands on, they've brought it to us. And it's unbelievable. It was not expected. Greatly appreciated. And the unfortunate thing is we've always prided ourselves on the hospitality that we extend the people here. And it would be nice to think that one day we would like to get everybody back and show them what real hospitality is that we've become known for. We have no home, no house, but we have a home. We may not have anything else, but we have each other, and that's what we're all building on.
The harder it gets to really let go.
19-year-old Sky Midoff is able to sing in the comfort of home, practicing for her next pageant. That wasn't possible 5 years ago.
I had over 200 trophies and crowns of just all the work that me and my family put into it. Just everything crumbled, it's gone.
Sky grew up in Slidell, Louisiana, one of the areas most devastated by Hurricane Katrina. This picture of her family's refrigerator on top of the kitchen counter is a symbol of what the storm did to their house while they evacuated to Dallas. She was just 14.
Driving up to it, you saw the damage, and then when you actually went into your house, you saw the water lines.
Even though they lost everything, Sky's family stayed in Slidell until this past March. They relocated to Knoxville so Sky can attend college at UT.
This is just a shot on the side of the road when we were on our way to the clinic from where we were staying.
2 years after Katrina hit Slidell, then UT nursing student Jamie Sharp went there to give volunteer medical care. She says helping people affected by the hurricane was a learning experience. Their will stays with her.
I think about those people a lot, and I hope that I hope that they're able to rebuild and get things back the way that they want them to be.
You couldn't fix it even if
Sky is moving forward in a new city, at a new school, in a new phase of her life.
We went through one of the strongest hurricanes of all time, and we did get through it.
But she won't soon forget how that hurricane left its mark on her childhood.
And it looked like very bad news for New Orleans.
Right under the big blob on the radar is where Phyllis Teray lives.
It's very difficult.
It's where grocery carts are blowing through parking lots and trees are toppling over. Home is New Orleans. She drove to West Knoxville to take cover from Katrina. Her daughter, son-in-law, and granddaughter's house is shelter 500 miles from the storm. A neighbor stayed and told her this.
There are a lot of trees down, and there is about 2 to 2.5 feet of standing water in the street between our two houses.
She's watching continuous coverage of the hurricane hitting her home. Being here instead of there is comforting and confusing.
You just don't know what's happening.
She had to leave in a hurry.
You know, you're leaving your house and all your possessions. What do you take?
But she brought Mardi Gras beads for baby Annabelle and her 2 cats. She'll stay a few days and go home to who knows what. Until then, some unexpected family time during the worst time her city has ever seen.
I'm just worried about the people.
Teresa Woodard, 10 News.
Straight from the Heart moment. November 2005. Thanksgiving at Bay St. Louis.
And our house is completely gone. We came and find it. 3 cars, 6 birds, 6 cats, and 2 dogs. We've lost everything.
So it was a big wave that came in over? Oh my gosh.
It takes something like this to bring people together, and we can all sit down and enjoy a Thanksgiving meal together. And, it kind of takes your mind off of the tragic things that have happened.
This is Cajun injected fried turkey.
How was the food? How was the food?
Food was delicious.
Turkey even was good? Tennessee.
Really?
Yeah, Knoxville. We had a bunch of folks up there who donated a lot of the food that you guys ate today.
Y'all are the only reason the day is here.
We're just here to help out and try and bless people for Thanksgiving and make them happy. Just here to give instead of just receive, because we're blessed.
Oh, yeah. Things are hard.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Knoxville.
When life makes your heart skip a beat, then, now, tomorrow. Let's live every day straight from the heart. To see this straight from the heart moment again, watch the archive video that inspired it, or suggest your own moment. Visit WBIR.com.
In the days after Katrina smashed into the Gulf Coast, a wave of evacuees flooded into East Tennessee.
3 plane loads of people who didn't even know where they were until the McGee-Tyson Air Base colonel went on board and said, "Welcome to Knoxville."
The men, women, and children were bused to a haven. The Knoxville Coliseum turned makeshift shelter. The very basics welcomed the transplants, who arrived mostly empty-handed. It was the start of their lives after Katrina. Among them, a father and his son Arnold, separated during the storm, reunited live on our air. While hundreds called Knoxville their temporary home, millions more along the Gulf Coast were left to endure the devastation. But East Tennessee wasn't through helping. Trucks full of donated supplies caravanned down to a tiny Mississippi town. Dubbed a place apart, Bay St. Louis truly was.
You know, this kind of tells it all that we don't have a whole lot left. Basically, it's short of total destruction.
The Knox County Sheriff's Department traveled south to support their fellow law enforcement. They surveyed the destruction from above.
And we looked down, and there were people on rooftops everywhere.
Over the following months, our cameras captured the slow recovery, but also the joy when East Tennessee brought the holidays to Bay St. Louis.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy.
With trucks full of donated food.
This is Cajun injected fried turkeys.
Volunteers served up Thanksgiving dinner, community style.
Things are hard.
Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody in Knoxville.
Morning breaks on a Mississippi town looking to right its course 1 year after Katrina.
9 months later, we return to Bay St. Louis to mark the recovery efforts 1 year after Katrina.
We first met Doug in February when we showed you the work he was doing to restore his home along Main Street here in Bay St. Louis.
The effort to rebuild was well underway. We found a resiliency among the people in this coastal hamlet, and an appreciation for help in the form of manpower and prayer still coming from 570 miles north in Knoxville.
If you were looking at a map, we are on the very tip of the boot, surrounded by marshland as well as the Mississippi River. And tonight, we take you down the road to a wildlife rehab center.
In 2010, 5 years after Katrina, we documented another economic blow for Bay St. Louis.
Bay St. Louis or any other part of the Mississippi coast is home. Yeah. It's just, that's not an option to not call this home.
This disaster was man-made. An offshore oil spill threatened beaches, wildlife, and livelihoods again. Bay St. Louis persevered, and 18 years after Katrina, a beach getaway proves time and again heartbreak can give way to hope.
There was a little boy who was flown out of New Orleans with his grandmother and their dog, and he didn't know where his dad was. His dad had been flown to a different part of the country, as a lot of them were.
I was at home watching it on TV, and then I got a phone call for us to come in for a disaster, and I went straight to the hospital. I guess I just bonded with Imelda and her grandson. He was real worried about his grandmother and his dad and his mom. Didn't know where they were at all. Found out all the tests that Imelda had done. She had cancer. So she had to do a longer stay in the hospital, and she didn't know. She was kind of worried about her grandson. So I told her not to worry, that I would take him home.
I mean, he was just a sweet little kid who was happy to be okay, but was extremely sad that he couldn't find his dad. Several people here at the station kind of got involved in this, and he was flown, we figured out he was flown to Columbia, South Carolina, and we said, don't let him go anywhere. And the reporter and photographer from the sister station in Columbia went and found him, and then we were able to use Angel Flight to get him here to Knoxville free of charge. He had no idea that his father was at the station when we were interviewing him. And the moment was the most incredible thing I've ever seen on television. When his dad walks out and you see Arnold running towards the camera, that was one of the coolest moments I've ever been a part of.
And he ran and, just hugged him and just really thrilled, like a kid would be, to see their parents, and knew that he was alive. And we then found his mom to let him know that, she was alive and stuff. So it was just an exciting day. And we went to a clothing place. They clothed him and dressed him, and they put him up in a hotel, to stay for a little bit when he flew in. We went, he got teeth made.
In his case, we actually created a new denture. So we went back all the way to the beginning, took out any infected teeth, the remaining infected teeth, and created a custom denture for him. To be part of a reconstruction to bring back his function and his smile was really, really great.
I had a student during the hurricane time that came to me. She was from New Orleans, and she wanted to do something for the hurricane victims. And after we saw the Live at 5 air of Arnold reuniting with his father, she said that's who she wanted to give her money to. He was the same age as my students were at that time. We just knew that that's where we wanted to help and our money to go.
Everybody has a story, and theirs is unique because of Katrina and the way the community from WBIR wrapped around them and loved them well. So it was just neat to be part of it.
Real smart, nice kid. I haven't stayed in contact with him since his dad came, and of course his grandmother that died. And I really don't know what he's doing now. I hope he's doing very well and that he had learned something here in Knoxville.
So. It's not as good as supposed to be, but I'm still here. As far as my life, is okay. I have a place to stay. My mom is good. My daddy, he kind of trying, he is bad because he's trying to do everything on his own. He'll have a job and stuff, so it's kind of hard for him. My son's name is Arnold Benjamin Leverson IV. Yeah, my son's 2 years old. He looked just like me, handsome. He's a good child. I really want to get out of New Orleans with my son. I really want to get out of here. Like, down here is not like where I want to be, because there's a lot going on in New Orleans. All type of stuff, killing. It's just hectic down here, and it's too much for me. I remember everything. I remember the school days. I remember that everything, going with Miss Lee, going eat out, them taking me to the TV show to find my daddy. It was hard, but by me seeing them, it relieved everything. I couldn't even breathe when I seen them. Like they made me so happy about finding my daddy. Like that took a lot to me. Like, because I really thought something happened to him, because he didn't want to leave at all. Like, that's why it took so much out of me. Like, I couldn't even breathe. He said I was hugging him too tight. And I never thought that, that people would care that much. Like, like, you tearing me up right now. I really appreciate everything I did for me out there. I swear, I really did. The ribbons, that's sweet. That was lovely. Everything that they did, anything that they put together, anything that was evolving that y'all did for me to show me that y'all care, it's a lot.